Today, we're going to take a look at Psalm 24, but I want you to try and see it in a new light. Don't just think of it as an old religious text, think of it more like a powerful piece of ancient poetry. It's actually structured like a little three-act play, and it builds to this really dramatic climax. So let's unpack this thing.
Right out of the gate, the psalm just hits you with this massive question, one that people have been debating for, well, forever. Who actually owns the world? It doesn't waste a single second, and its answer really sets the stage for everything that's about to happen.
And there it is, right in the first two verses, a bold, sweeping declaration of ownership. The logic is simple. Because God created the world, literally building it on the ancient seas, then all of it belongs to Him. Not just the land, but every single person on it.
And just check out the scale of this claim. This isn't about one specific country or a single holy mountain. The psalm lays down this cosmic, all-encompassing foundation. It's a claim on everything. And that massive, universal backdrop is where this very personal drama is about to play out.
Okay, so if the whole world belongs to God, the next logical question has to be, who gets to actually go and see this cosmic owner? And just like that, the poem pivots. It moves from the what, the world, to the who, and it introduces this really intense challenge of worthiness.
So there it is, the central challenge of the whole piece. It's laid out as a direct question, almost like a riddle you'd hear from a guard at some sacred gate. It really makes you stop and think, what does it actually take to be considered worthy? What are the real requirements for entry here?
And the psalm gives a very, very specific answer. And you know what? It's not a list of ceremonies or sacrifices. It's 4 deeply personal qualifications. Clean hands, that's about your actions, what you do. A pure heart, that's about your motives, why you do it. And the other 2, they're all about loyalty and truthfulness.
So the most crucial point here is this. The path to this holy place isn't paved with some fancy ceremony, it's paved with character. The psalmist is basically arguing that what makes a person truly worthy is their moral integrity, their inner life. That's a huge shift from that cosmic claim down to something deeply, deeply personal.
And what's the result of all this? Well, these qualities, the clean hands, the pure heart, they're not just individual traits. They actually define an entire community, a whole generation of people who are fit to be in the divine presence.
And now we hit the final act. The scene shifts, and I mean dramatically. We're not focused on that individual climber anymore. Now it's about a grand, spectacular arrival at the city gates. The whole tone changes, the volume gets turned way up, and you can just feel the anticipation in the air.
Just try to imagine it. You're standing by the walls of this ancient, massive city. All of a sudden, this incredibly powerful voice just rings out. And it's not talking to the people, it's talking to the gates themselves. A procession has arrived, and it's demanding entry for someone unbelievably important.
I mean, what a line. It's a command directed at the architecture itself, as if the gates and doors are alive. It's telling them to get out of the way for royalty. This is no polite knock on the door. It's a powerful summons announcing the arrival of the King of Glory. And then, from inside the city, a question is shouted back. You can almost hear the guards on the wall challenging this procession. Who is this so-called King of Glory? It's a moment of pure dramatic tension. Who has the authority to make a demand like that?
And here comes the thunderous reply. The king is identified by his sheer power, his skill in battle. He is the Lord strong and mighty. This is no philosopher king. This is a warrior king, a conqueror, arriving in triumph.
But it's not over yet. The poet uses repetition here to crank up the drama. That command to the gates, it's shouted a second time, even louder, more insistent. It's almost as if the first answer wasn't quite enough, and the gates are still hesitating. The pressure is really mounting.
So the question comes again, but listen closely, there's a subtle change. Who is he, this King of Glory? The phrasing feels more personal now, more direct. This is the final challenge right before the ultimate revelation.
This is it, the climax of the entire poem. This is the final moment where all that tension we've been building is finally resolved, and the full identity of the king is declared loud and clear, with zero ambiguity.
And that's the final answer. It's not just strong and mighty anymore. The ultimate title is given the Lord Almighty. In the original Hebrew, this is Yahweh Sabaoth, which means something like Lord of Hosts or Lord of Armies. This is the ultimate declaration of supreme power. He is the King of Glory. The gates have no choice but to open now.
So when you step back and look at it, this psalm takes us on this incredible narrative journey, right? It starts with the widest possible lens, the entire planet, and establishes who's in charge. Then it zooms way in to the human heart, asking about worthiness. And finally, it pulls back out for this massive public spectacle and a stunning revelation. It's just a masterclass in poetic storytelling.
And all of that leaves us with one final thought. The psalm is about a king's arrival, sure, but it's also about preparation, both the personal, moral prep of the individual and the public, physical prep of the city. So the question for us is, what does it mean to prepare our own gates for greatness, whatever that might look like in our lives?